What's going on, everyone? Brendan here, the Gut Whisperer. No evidence that depression is caused by low serotonin levels finds a comprehensive review. After decades of study, there remains no clear evidence that serotonin levels or serotonin activity are responsible for depression, according to a major review of peer research led by UCL scientists. How's that for a brain buster? For those that don't know, my name is Brendan. I'm known as the Gut Whisperer. And in this video, I want to talk about a recently published study in July 2022 talking about depression. This is going to piss off a lot of people. This is going to ruffle a lot of feathers. But it needs to be said. And I'm going to put a little thumbnail here, and I'm going to take a screenshot of an interview from Tom Cruise well over a decade ago, talking about antidepressants and the overprescription and the overuse of antipsychotic drugs just for mood disorders. And he was chastised about it. He literally nearly lost his job. And the media, everyone was calling him crazy. And here we are now, 2022. We knew he wasn't crazy all along, or at least the tinfoil hat wearing individuals who critically think. So I'm just going to read this. I'm not going to read the whole publication. If you want, I'll put a link down below and you can read it for yourself. After decades of study, there remains no clear evidence that serotonin levels or serotonin activity are responsible for depression, according to a major peer-reviewed study research done by UCL scientists. The new umbrella review, an overview of existing meta-analysis and systematic reviews published in Molecular Psychiatry, suggests that depression is not likely caused by a chemical imbalance and calls into question what antidepressants do. Most antidepressants are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, also known as SSRIs, which were originally said to work by correcting abnormally low serotonin levels. There is no other accepted pharmacological mechanism by which antidepressants affect the symptoms of depression. I've been saying this for so long, and so many times people are like, oh no, that's wrong. Basically, SSRIs, they don't increase your natural levels of serotonin. They basically prevent your body from breaking them down too quickly. That's basically it. So if your level is shit, you're going to stay at level shit, but you're not going to get worse, right? Basically. But you still need to naturally increase your body's production of serotonin. And in this study, they're saying that there is no correlation between low levels of serotonin and mood disorders such as depression. I'll read a little bit more. Lead author, Professor Joanna Moncrief, a professor of psychiatry at UCL and a consultant psychiatrist at Northeast London NHS Foundation, said, "It is always difficult to prove a negative. But I think we can safely say that after a vast amount of research conducted over several decades, there is no convincing evidence that depression is caused by serotonin abnormalities, particularly by lower levels or reduced activity of serotonin. No one has an SSRI deficiency. No one has an Adderall deficiency. No one has an anti-anxiety drug deficiency. I've been saying this for years and years and years. This brain, it's not our primary brain. This right here, this is our primary brain. Our secondary brain responds accordingly to the fuel that we consume. If we're eating horrible, nutrient deficient food, then our brain is going to respond accordingly. The way that we respond to stressors and environmental factors and people and relationships and jobs and money and school, we're going to respond accordingly because our body is being fed insufficient nutrient-dense foods. Hence, the chemical imbalance. Yes, there might be a chemical imbalance in your brain. There's obviously going to be a chemical imbalance in your gut. And it's all dependent on the food that you eat, the water that you drink, or the alcohol that you're consuming, or the vape that you're smoking. There's so many factors. I'm just going to reference this book, Gut and Psychology Syndrome, written by Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride. She says, literally, that there is no behavioral disorder that does not have a correlation with leaky gut and compromised digestion. Who would have thought? Well, she does that. And all of these books that I've read on functional medicine and holistic nutrition, all of those professionals, they say the same thing. So I just wanted to share that because I know a ton of people that are taking anti-anxiety and depression medication, and their doctors are saying it's a chemical imbalance. And sure, there might be a chemical imbalance. However, it is responsive to what you are eating or not eating. It is responsive to your environment. It is responsive to your epigenetics. Epigenetics mean your cells respond according to their environment. So genes can be turned on, genes can be turned off by our environment, by the food that we eat, by the exercise we do or don't do. I'm going to leave you with one more powerful statement. Depression is basically this. Depression is negative feedback telling you, hey, shit stick, get off your ass and change, basically. And I'm swearing because it's really, really important. Like I'm really laying this hard on you. If you're depressed, your body and your spirit are literally saying, hey man, or hey girl, this isn't working. Whatever it is that you're doing, you need to change. Straight up. So I talk about this in my book, 30-Day Challenge to a Healthier, Happier, Stronger You. I talk about things that you can do to incorporate into your lifestyle to break old habits and form new ones. One of which is cold shower therapy. I actually wrote about it in my first thesis, which I got an A on in my doctorate's degree. Talking about the importance and the implementation of cold shower therapy through treatments of addiction and depression, and can actually alleviate that. So, if you're taking these mood-altering medications, you might want to consider looking at a holistic approach and trying to make some adjustments with your diet and lifestyle, and speak to your practitioner and say, hey, I would like to eventually, like the end game is to come off this medication. The end game is to no longer need this medication. Because sure, it might give you some stability for a little bit, but over time, oh my goodness, it's going to make you worse and worse and worse and worse, especially on your gut. If you found this important, or if you value this information, hit a like, hit a subscribe, share this with your friends. And I'm going to put a link. Like, this is right here. It's right here. Don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger. Gut Whisperer out.